What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to the APTHCRY channel. We are here with the one and only Hess Kicks, one of my favorite sneaker YouTubers, one of my inspirations, dude. It's so good to have you on, man. It's been so long since I've seen you, dude. This is great.
Yeah, you got a full-on ginger beard going on,
I
man. The
really
whole thing's
do.
coming in. I like it. I'm jealous. I'm jealous, man. You know, I'm getting so old. I was starting to get a couple white hairs here and there, and like there's no hair here, but like my 7 hairs I have to shave off, there's like at least 1 or 2 white ones. I'm like, but you got the full on thing there, man. I'm jealous. Summer beard, living life.
I'm just, dude. If I don't have it, I look like I'm 12. So my face is a little too young, in a bad way.
That's hilarious.
I also I can't connect right there. It doesn't matter. Dude. So how have you been? How's everything been going?
Man, it's been crazy, you know, another day, another couple bucks, just living life and enjoying it and raising the family. And it's weird being a part of YouTube for so long that like Harrison's 7, like he's going into second grade now. Maddie's I mean it's summertime, but it's crazy. It's crazy to be like a part of that whole system. It's definitely like a different platform of life when you start having a family. So it's crazy, but so it consumes a lot of time. But I'm still here doing YouTube stuff and enjoying creating content and just having fun with it. I mean, that's part of the reason why I think it's been so good and sustainable for myself, is just the sheer enjoyment of sneakers still, and hopefully that never dies, because even though the sneaker market is kind of down right now across the board, like it's awesome to me. Like I don't mind it at all. It's nice to see sneakers in stock for something that you're wanting to pick up.
That's awesome, man. Well, for those of you who don't know you, which I would assume on a sneaker channel is probably very few, but for those of you who don't know you, I mean, you've been doing this for a long time. How did you sort of get into it, and how long ago did you start?
Yeah, man. I'd have to look back and see my first video. When I'm this old, you don't remember year by year. It's been over 10 years. I think it's been 11, maybe even 12. But I started years ago, and you know, I was a closet collector back then. I just had I ended up buying a bunch of sneakers just because I enjoyed them, and I had enough extra money at the time. I was DJing on the side, and then I would take the money from, you know, the week or whatever I'd make from DJing, and I'd be like, go get a new fit. I'd get new t-shirts, new hats, and then sneakers were a must. So I got to the point where I was like, okay, I remember a pair that I got, and you know, I wish I had another pair of them, and so I wanted to get a double up. And then once you get to that mentality of like getting your first pair, a double up of a sneaker, then everything changes. The whole world changes once you get that. So that's been that's kind of the early start. Anyway, like transition years later, I started doing YouTube gaming stuff. Actually, I just like Call of Duty, and then I noticed that there was like some sort of a community for sneakers out there on YouTube, which was very early days. And I was like, dude, this is kind of cool. So I could create content and post some video, just sharing some of the stuff that I have. And it was a nice way to connect and interact with other people. And it's funny even talking about how ancient times that was back then, but like that's the beginnings of it. And it was good to just have a community and be a part of something when, you know, previously there was just like online forums and stuff, which I wasn't a huge fan. I mean, I was on, but I wasn't, it was kind of like, there was no identity there, and I liked having an identity with YouTube. So that was the start of it. And then, I mean, fast forward, and now we're here, and it's been a fun journey.
That's sick, man. So you were one of the first people that I started watching. You and I think probably Nightwing and maybe Tom Stefanik were like the first 3 people that I subscribed to in sneaker YouTube. Who were the first couple people that you started watching that like really got you into the sneaker YouTube scene?
Translations was dope. Like, loved Fran. And then man, there was a whole bunch of just random one. J-Star, shout out to J-Star. He was one of my favorites. Smaller channel, but dude just liked to talk about sneakers and stuff, and it was just real and stuff. Remember Dubstep Slap? The Dubstep, he I don't know if you remember him. He did haul videos. I don't know if he was a drug dealer or what, but he got crazy haul videos going on. This is before like reseller, like 2J Kicks, where he'd go out and spend $100,000 a sneaker con or something. I mean, this dude just a sneaker guy spending three racks a week on sneakers and showing his haul. That era was super fun. DJ Dell's somebody I also watched back in the day. Was a fan of him back then, and then yeah, that was kind of, and Nightwing as well. Nightwing was the GOAT, and he's always been very proficient at what he does. So But yeah, man, I think that was probably the earlier days. I can't remember all of them, but those are some of the super OGs that are, most of them aren't around anymore. But
Right.
it's just the way it goes.
That's awesome, man. Well, first, shout out to Tear Blood really quick. Thank you so much for the dono and also for the member for 18 months. I really appreciate that.
Hey.
But dude, like, okay, so when I first started watching you, you were filming on your phone and you weren't showing your face. And what sort of got you to transition into, being in front of the camera and then sort of progressing in your I guess video flow? Like, how did that sort of go?
That was a crazy moment in time because I wanted to kind of be anonymous at first. Like I like to be able to share and stuff and just talk and then have people respond, but not necessarily having a connection to me as an individual, I guess, or like with a face. Because
Right.
at the end of the day, it wasn't. I think I wanted to get into a space where I could get information potentially from Nike or Jordan Brand that was like not supposed to be told, and if I was anonymous, it would have been better. But that it just didn't work out like that, like unfortunately or fortunately. And then it got to the point where everybody just wanted to see. And then when I did show, people were just in absolute shock. They're like, "What in the world? Hess is Asian." I mean, that was like the biggest thing. Like nobody knew I was Asian American, and that was like such a big shock. Then I was like, dude, if I don't do this often enough, then I'm gonna get that comment like every time that it happens. So at some point I was like, I just have to get in front of the camera and just start recording in front of the camera. It's you just have to adapt with the times and adapt with the different form of social. And for me, that was like one of those things that I had to do. So I ended up buying a little bit of a better. The camera quality right here is terrible. Unfortunately, I don't have a DSLR plug-in like you do right there. You're looking real clean, but yeah, it made it better. And like, so I had to try to create a little bit better content. It's just as like it's a practice of creating, just like my wife's a nurse. It's a practice of nursing is what they call it. We practice creating, and some stuff doesn't work. Some stuff we learn from and we elevate, and then we pivot on a constant basis every single week, every single month. We have to try to figure out what's working and then elevate it. If we don't, then you get left behind. So ultimately, I think for anybody out there that's trying to create content or just trying to do something in life, the best thing that I could say is just try, dude. You have to be willing to try. Everybody always says, well, you have to fail too. Yeah, it's true. You do have to fail. Not everything's going to be a success. And ultimately, if you're the one still showing up for the job, you're going to have that job and you're going to be able to keep on doing it. So that's kind of where I've been at. I'm not the best at what I do. I'm kind of jack of all trades, master of none sort of thing. And I'm okay with it. Like I enjoy being a part of a conversation, or at least being a part of something, even if I'm not like the best or whatever.
That's awesome, man. Well, so since you've been doing this for such a long time, do you have like an era that you look fondly back on? Like, is there an era of sneaker YouTube that was your favorite?
Man, I think that probably these are good questions, buddy. I think that the very beginning of getting seated was probably the coolest moment. And because it was like low money, it wasn't very much money.
Right.
If you were lucky, you might make enough money for a month or 3 months, maybe to buy one pair of sneakers or something.
Right.
So it wasn't something else being able to fulfill a business or anything like that. And getting seated a pair of sneakers, it felt like the ultimate like goal of like getting or that you made it in a sense,
Totally.
some sort of validation. It's silly that there's something like that. I'm sure that same was for you when you got your play button, like the gold play button, right? Like that's for me dream of a gold play button eventually 10 years from now, however long it takes me.
It's coming soon, man.
But ultimately though, like it's good, but it didn't really, I'm sure it doesn't really change anything because now then you have it, then it's like, cool. Like even my kids are like, dude, when are you going to get a gold? I'm like, come on, bro, give me some time. It's going to take me some. And he wants a gold play button on his little toy channel and stuff.
That's awesome.
I'm like, he has like 9,000 subscribers, and I'm like, dude, it's not an easy thing to achieve, but I think it's one of those things that anyway, I like to talk in circles. But
no, that's great, dude. I'm loving this. This is awesome.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that was a fun era though. I mean, you probably remember when you first got your first care package. Sometimes like they were just anonymous. Like it wasn't like one person going, "Hey, I'm going to send you some." They just show up at your door or something. I was like, how did they even make this happen? It was dope. So I love it when that type of stuff happens.
That really was the best. Yeah, especially like in the beginning, like I gave out my address to a couple different people, like Jordan Brand and some other people, not expecting anything, and then all of a sudden, like randomly, I'd get a package from like I don't know Kicks USA, and I'm like, how did they get my address? How did this happen? Like Champs too, like Champs, like they used to send the
Champs was
craziest
the first
stuff.
one. Yeah, I used to get that was the first big. I think I might have been one of the first dudes to get a package from them. They
Yeah, I
sent
remember.
so many, and they never. It was such a weird seed program. It wasn't even like it made no sense. They would send you the most random pair. Sometimes it was
It really
not in the right box, and then they were like, and then there was no expectations to post anything, and then you're like, sometimes it was really cool, and sometimes it was real trash, and you're just
yeah.
like, I don't know. Like I like working with. I have some deals now where it's a lot better. Where
Mhm.
like with Adidas, I get to help choose my products that
That's
like I want to
awesome.
be able to review, which is a lot more fun. Like it gives me like an honest approach
Right.
to being able to choose a product. Otherwise, if, it's something that I'm not interested in. I don't want to fake it and be like, this is something that I really enjoy. So,
Yeah.
but and some of it's exploratory. Something new comes out and I'd want to see it, whether it's good or bad. So it's nice to be able to have that option too. But yeah, that was yeah. Anyway,
Dude, like it's
like,
funny
did
that
you build a Titanic? Did you build that?
which oh yeah. Yeah, it's a stupid Lego
Bro,
Titanic. It was what
that
I
was
this is how much of a loser I am. That's what I so I'd been wanting to buy it for a while, and back in November when I got my speaking of the gold play button, my wife was like, "Do you want to do anything like go out or anything like get dinner?" And I was like, "No, can I buy that Lego Titanic that I've been looking at for months?"
dude. It's so good. It's such a huge set though. I have
It's
actually have one
crazy.
too. I haven't built it though.
Which one? The
I have the Titanic. I have
oh the
that one
Titanic. You
too.
haven't built it
I
yet,
have
dude.
a ton of sets, but I just don't. I haven't built a lot of them. I just have them kind of sitting for
Bro,
now.
oh my gosh, the amount of Legos that I want to buy is just. I think I have a consumer problem, not so much a sneaker problem as much as a consumer problem.
I feel that. That's hilarious.
So speaking of Adidas, is there any? I've noticed they've really had to get experimental with like Kanye being gone and Jerry Lorenzo joining and Pharrell's just not really hitting the way that they did or they have. Is there like a certain Adidas coming up or a sneaker that you're like really excited about?
It's kind of tough. Like I have tons of ideas for Adidas, right?
Mm.
I tweeted one the other day where I'm like, dude, Boost slides were a big fit. One of the biggest fails, I think, as a
I
consumer of
know.
slides. It was just not a good experience on feed, but it doesn't mean it can't get better. And like something that I was thinking about, like they should make an all Boost slide with the strap because the all foam slides, Yeezy slides are all foam.
Yep.
Every brand now has an all foam slide,
Yep.
including the strap, which is molded. And I want an Adidas Boost version of that,
I
all
know.
Boost. Like how fire would that be if they made the stack height thick enough and the width wide enough, especially as a little bit of a wide footer.
Hmm.
If they made those adjustments, it could be an unreal like combination. Still, even though Boost is dead to most people's points, it's still something that I think they can make and it would actually be really good. It would be consumable and comfortable. Things like that, I think that would be ideal. They also have a really nice like Light Strike Pro. I don't know if you've ever tried any of their Light Strike Pro
I don't know
models.
if I have.
It's
Yeah.
basically like it's like their Zoom X from
Hmm.
Nike. Right?
Gotcha.
So it's like, but it's a huge stack of foam. It's like big and thick, but it's very narrow because it's for elite racing, and so marathons. And so they need it thin, and they're just going in one direction. Well, if you can make a thick boy version like an Invincible Run version with Light
Right.
Strike Pro, you have now a consumable model that can hit the masses. Somebody like myself that reviews those type of shoes
Yeah.
that really enjoys those type of shoes, like I'd put on a lot of people to something like that if they made the right one. So those are two examples. I'm like, if they made the proper products for consumption for
Hmm.
more people, even if it's not the intended results when they're creating something, the reach can go a lot further than what they are currently doing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of some of the thing that I think that they need to do. Also, to your point, like Pharrell's not hitting the way he used to do, the way that the releases are happening.
Hmm.
Like Beyonce, obviously that line fell out,
Yep.
and I think that Fear God has some potential. The look of that line, I think, looks really good.
Yeah, I like it too.
It's going to be interesting the way they roll it out, though. I think that probably as well as I do, like most of the time, the way they roll out a product is not done in the proper way, where it's like they don't hit a limited supply market for the most part. They just mass release stuff, or they wave runner it, where they release to say, oh, you guys like the wave runner? Let's
Yeah.
release it 75 times so we can make as much as we can off of them. Like they need to understand the hype and the supply and demand and stop meeting the demand every single time and creating more demand in something else. And
Right.
then you have then you have legacy demand for other products out there instead of trying to fulfill the legacy demand like they're always doing. It's they're trying to make money, but at the end of the day, they're not. So they just don't understand that side of the market. And I don't think they ever will.
Yeah, I agree. It
Given the
sucks, but
market.
yeah, I completely agree.
On
Yeah,
the positive side, they have a ton of good products that are just everyday regular products
exactly.
that I really enjoy. And like even though the Ultra Boost is like not everybody's favorite, the Ultra Boost Light, as much as like it's not soft like the other like competitive foams out there on the market, the super foams,
Right.
like Invincible runs and New Balance Fuel Cell and everything else. It's firmer, it's not as comfortable, but it's still good. And
Right.
it's still something that I wear on a regular basis. And sometimes, you want something a little bit firmer on feet as well. So I don't know. I feel like they definitely need to pivot, but they need to bring on like new talent and try to not just poach like the it person that's out there, like the Jenna Ortega or whoever that was. They
Oh,
put her as
yep.
a face as soon as she was trendy. They kind of brought her in a little bit too late.
Yeah.
And then now I don't know what she's doing for the brand, but I feel like that they probably paid her a bag to get her on board.
Yep.
But they need to get people before they blow up, I think, a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like Jack Harlow and New Balance is a good example. That's a long-term relationship that they've had, or Jack Harlow's always loved New Balance. He's
Yep.
going to be releasing his own New Balance, I think, soon. And like that is something that they can flourish with, because that was something he was just naturally into it, and then he blew up. So something like that is Adidas needs a Jack Harlow type of person, I think, eventually.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's interesting. I was over in the Philippines about like a month or two ago, and one thing I remember last time I went, the shoe that was selling out everywhere was the Air Force One. But then this time, and it's crazy because a lot of the trends that we have in the U.S. either don't really hit that side of the world or even Europe. Like it's just it's a completely different sneaker market out there. Anywhere you go outside the U.S., maybe Canada is probably the same as U.S. But like I've heard that in like Asia and even in Europe, the Samba is like the it shoe right now. Like that's the shoe that's selling out everywhere, which is crazy to me because in the U.S. like no one really sees. I mean, it's always been a shoe that people wear, but it's not like an Air Force One. There's not that sort of like hype behind it.
I think that there is like an underground hype on it, or it's like you said, like European and stuff, because it's really big. And like, but some colorways will show up and then they'll be gone. It's actually kind of funny because I post a lot of the sneaker deals and stuff
Yep.
on a weekly basis, and Adidas I post a lot. And like a couple months ago, I look in Sambas, they're sold out on everything under a size men's 8 and
Yeah.
under are gone, which is all women's sizes. So like
wild.
the women's sizes are going crazy.
Right.
And they're representing it really hard depending on where they are, even in the US even. But
Right.
but because they're showing up on the website and people don't even click in and see that they're actually all sold out on specific sizes. There is a demand. It's like not like I haven't reviewed a Samba yet. Like I actually was trying to get a pair and they said I couldn't get them, like just because of the demand was too much for them,
Right.
which was kind of cool to me. I was like, oh, that's unfortunate, because I never. Eventually, I might do it. They're a little too narrow for me personally, but it still is a really trendy sneaker, and I think they look good on like women and stuff specifically. But for men, my brothers love Sambas since he was in high school, so
Oh wow.
there's definitely some longevity to the shoe. It just doesn't, like you said, it have the hype of the Air Force One and stuff. But
Right.
it'll be interesting to see if that actually can be something where they can bring some buzz about it, because like more buzz, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I hate to say collaborations, because you get collaborations and then they kind of go crazy off the wagon with the collabs, and then they're not successful, or they might just be too off-putting, and then who knows what ends up happening with it. But like I feel like the Forum kind of happened, that they did it with the Forum where they did some really good collaborations. The Bape collaboration is amazing.
That was sick.
But they have so many other ones that I don't know. It was just a lot to keep up of. And that's the other complaint, if we're going to focus on that, is that there's no like real release schedule for any of the products. There's no like well, there's, these are the forums that are coming 4 or 5 months from now. Like Jordan Brand has this whole spring launch calendar,
Oh yeah.
whatever.
We see everything.
Ahead of time, all the items that are going to be coming, even VRs. We don't really have that for Adidas. They just, and maybe it's because we're not. I mean, I'd like to think we're a primary market, but like you said, maybe primary is global, and we're not at the forefront of that. So yeah, I wish we could get them trending over here again in different ways, but in the meantime, I'll just keep buying some of the stuff or keep getting some of the stuff that I enjoy.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like in the U.S. at least, well, maybe global as well, because it's the Campus 80. Like you've got the Bad Bunny collaboration, the recent, which I love. That's like
I got those too. They're really
they're
nice.
sick. I do. I think they might be my favorite Adidas sneaker of the year. Like I think that they're just such a good all around shoe. It's got that thick like skateboardy
It's
vibe.
wider too.
Yep.
It's wider because of the thickness and stuff. It's wider than the regular. The regular campuses were too narrow, like the Samba. So.
Oh really?
Yeah,
oh, wow.
That was the reason why I was like, these are actually legit. They're good for me. So yeah,
dude,
I
love them. They're like, actually, speaking of which, the Campus 80, and I keep 2 pairs of shoes by my door, and it rotates probably every couple weeks whenever I buy a new pair. But it's the Bad Bunny Campus 80s in the cream color, and it's the red metallic foam posits that just dropped. What shoes do you wear on a daily basis? Like, what is your daily go-to shoe, and does it rotate every so often?
Yeah, it's kind of weird because like I don't go anywhere. Like I'm like a homebody. I take my kids to summer camps now in the morning and pick them up, and then I think I have the kids solo tomorrow, so I might go to the mall or something. I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. Mom's working, so I gotta figure life out. But so I don't go a lot of places. So I wear a lot of flip flops in the house, outside usually, and then I do a lot of like running shoe comparison videos. So there's a lot of those like New Balance Fuel Cell type sneakers that I absolutely love, Fresh Foam and those type of sneakers, the everyday runners and stuff that I mostly focus on the channel now. I wear that stuff a lot more than the stuff on the wall,
right?
To be percent. But on the positive, if I am going to step out, if I'm going to dinner or something, then I'm like, okay, wait, like let me take a look, and then I'll grab something from the wall and then just kind of pick, or have the kids help me pick something out, and then we'll grab something and go. But on average, I just don't. I mean, I wish. I don't wish it. But like I was gonna say, I wish I could come in the room and just grab a pair and go to work every day. But I'm like, this isn't working in the corner over here, my desk. So it's kind of beautiful. It's ironic though, right? Like you work your whole life and get to the point where you have enough to do all those things, and then by the time I'm here, like I don't need to do that. But it's nice to have options, and the artistic approach to everything I still appreciate, regardless if I can get them on feet every single. It's embarrassing how many pairs I have though versus how many pairs can be worn per the days of the week, per the months that I can wear them in, for the amount of times that I actually don't leave the house. So yeah.
Nice. Well, okay. Say you were going out tonight. Say you were going to dinner tonight, and you had to pick a pair of shoes, regardless of your outfit. Like, what pair off the wall? Like, what pair are you really wanting to wear at the moment? Like tonight, if you were to go out.
Oh man, let me see. Let me look. I usually go with these.
Nice.
Oh,
I like those laces.
I did like one of each.
That's sick.
I did that because Maddie liked one and Harrison liked the other. I liked one and Mom liked the other.
That's awesome.
So we did four. I did like these. I made this unions. It's
those
like
are. If they dropped those instead of the regular unit, those would have been. That's crazy. I love that.
Shout out to the dude on Instagram. I tagged him on my video on it, but he does these type of things, and I wanted to try it out, his ombre effect. But I'd wear those because they're comfortable too. I like the Jordan 1 lows right now for summer. I definitely would go with dunks as well. I mean, I'm always a dunk low guy, even though they're sitting like and they're not selling out and stuff. I still like my dunk lows, and I wear my sneakers or something like that. But that's usually kind of my go-to, especially for summertime. But then if it's not that, it's just runners.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What about you, man? What did you wear to SneakerCon last week?
I wore the Dornbecker 5s one day.
Right.
Yep.
That, cause I love it. Yeah.
And I wore the other day. What did I wear? I wore something comfortable. I wore the Supreme Lunar Nike Pluses, or the Supreme Nike Lunar 1 Plus. The pair from like 2012. That knit runner thing, the gray runner. I think it's the Lunar 1 or Lunar Plus or whatever.
Okay.
Do you know that one? It's like, let me see if I can pull it up actually really quick.
Yeah,
actually, you know what I've realized too? I realized that anything I pull up on the screen, you're not gonna be able to see. So maybe I won't pull it up. No, yeah, dude, let's talk about him. Let's talk about him. Man.
This is the stuff right here. I appreciate. Hopefully the launch goes good tomorrow. I'm so excited, man.
I'm stoked too,
so
man.
So just so you guys know, like conceptually, like I sent Seth like an idea of what I was wanting, but this guy, Seth is a man with many talents, and not just like I mean, some people are like me, jack of all trades, master of none. But you're like a master at your crafts, bro.
I'm not,
It's
man, I
crazy. It's very
appreciate that,
impressive.
but I'm not.
But, well, you killed the whole
Thanks,
thing.
man.
So I told him what I wanted, like, and then he came up with the color palettes for all of them. And I mean, he made them flow. Like these three go together so well.
Oh, thanks,
And
man.
it's like a perfect combination of everything that I wanted for the release. So yeah, this is going to be a really fun one. Hopefully you guys are interested in picking up any of them, and hopefully some of them you like more than others. But Haystack Rock, like Cannon Beach, I just posted a video talking on my channel about these today and kind of more of the
It was awesome.
everything. But yeah, man, it's like we used to go here a lot. We still go here. We're going. I guess we go probably every summer.
That's
but
awesome.
I mean, it's about an hour and a half away, and it's a beautiful little like landmark. And there was like that mountain lion that was stuck on it this last week, literally stuck on the rock. It was nuts.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but I love the colors, the sand on the bottom,
Thanks,
and then
man.
you
I
have
really appreciate that.
ocean. It looks like kind of like the sunset sort of vibe, which is really truly what you get with the pink in the sky out over the ocean. I remember I took my drone and flew it over Haystack.
Oh, that's sick.
Rock, did a little aerial around. I got talked to by the people over there. They're like, you have to stay a certain distance away so you don't disturb the birds and stuff.
Gotcha.
But
That
yeah,
makes sense.
it was I love that one, man. And then
awesome.
Mount Hood. I mean, I don't know. Mount Hood is amazing. Do you know who Shaun White is?
Yeah, of course.
So that dude, he's snowboarded in Mount Hood and stuff. He was talking about, he has a documentary out right now on, I think it's on HBO Max or something like that, or Max or whatever they call it now. Anyway, his documentary was dope. Not related to this, other than it's Mount Hood. I'm just saying, Shaun White should definitely watch. You should watch the documentary on Shaun White, and I should send him a pair of these. He's very familiar with Mount Hood for all of his training.
For anyone who doesn't know, these are the official Hess Kicks collaboration APTHCRY socks, dropping tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern time. These are all Portland landmarks. Is that the Portland landmarks or Oregon landmarks?
Oregon, yeah. Pia, I appreciate it. I see the comments. I'm looking over here now.
Oh, nice.
What's up, Jesse and Kenny? Yo, that's rad. I appreciate it.
Dude, I will say that so we've done a good amount of collaborations with people, but yours has been probably the most requested, or one of the most requested, re-collaborations. Like, dude, when we dropped your first collection, it was it went. I mean, that was insane. That was the reception we got on that was nuts. And I think it's a lot to do with who you are as a person and the fact that people really like you and really respect you. And also, dude, they came out they came out cool, and they match really well with sneakers. And I think this is cool too, because it's got a lot of you in there. There's a lot of you in there. It's a lot of really cool art too, and it's unlike the other ones where it was black and white, which I loved. These ones offer so many unique opportunities to create these interesting sneaker combinations that
really creative,
right, dude? Even in the background of your videos, they would match probably a lot of this, or the background of you right now, it would match a lot of those sneakers.
I literally took the socks out. I posted a little short of it with the kids. I literally took the socks out and had the kids walk around the room and then have them match up the sneakers that they wanted to have match with some of the shoes, and then I did some on feet of it. But yeah, it's so fun to be able to just match it up with something or try to find something that vibes well. But also you could just do the all cream shoe or something and throw it down with one of these. Something I Juan Wilson, I sent him the socks, and he posted them on Twitter and stuff, and everybody was like, dude, the unions look crazy with one of the pairs. And I didn't even see it. I didn't see that color combination with the Nor color of the unions. I did the other color myself, but the other ones, the colorway that he chose, it looked really, really fire. So it's definitely fun to be able to mix and match and do some sort of creative looks with them. And there's a story behind them. I mean, obviously, people in Oregon can appreciate it, but also if you just like nature stuff, I mean, it's just a nice way to represent that in the socks. Crater Lake, super blue lake, beautiful design on this one as well. And then
my personal favorite. I love those colors.
I love the trees too. The trees,
sick, thanks.
that was the perfect top to the touch to the socks, because you definitely can kind of, and I don't know, the top part of it being brown, I don't know why, but it looks perfect with the combination of what you created.
Thank you.
because like I said, he chose the color palettes and he just crushed it. And then this was the one that we didn't really have to do as much for, but still, I mean, you guys did a crazy job on them. And that's the PDX carpet. So those that don't know, the PDX carpet, the original ones, is like everybody. It was like the photo op. The one airport across the U.S. It was the photo op. Anytime you touch down in Portland, you'd get your picture with your sneakers on the carpet. And so they ripped up that carpet. Now they replaced it with something else. Rumor is it's coming back. I don't know if it's actually true, but yeah.
Sick.
So this is a nod, and a lot like people that have ever been to Portland are they know this pattern quite well. So this one's pretty awesome as well. And Dame Lillard actually had a picture of me wearing these with a Lillard, because Lillard had a colorway of his shoes in the PDX carpet as well that
I
he
saw
released.
that was a good pick.
Yeah, it's kind of rad. But yeah, man, this is a fun one, and I'm excited to see the launch.
Dude, appreciate it.
I'm gonna be here. I might have to buy some in the morning too. It's funny how many people come out of the woodworks. Like, I'm like, oh crap, I should have sent, because you guys give me the opportunity to send some friends and family pairs to some
We can
people.
send more if you want.
Yeah, maybe I have to jump on that a little bit.
Shoot me a text message after this. Yeah.
Yeah, because I got a lot of people that are like, I want this pair or that pair, and they hook me up with a pair of sneakers, or they're my web designer guy, or
That's
something. I'm like, oh man, they've supported the journey for me along the way. The very least I can do is send them something. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to the release, and tomorrow morning. It's what time are you? Are you 3 hours ahead? Is it 8:30?
I think it's 8. Yeah, it's 8:30 here. So for us it's 11 a.m. Eastern time. So for you it's what, 7? No, 8. 8.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was concerned. I was like, shoot, because I realized today when we were setting up this call, I was like, shoot, I completely forgot. It's just me being ignorant. Like, I forgot that you were in a different time zone. So I was like, oh my gosh. I'm glad that it's like not at like a Nike sneakers drop time. It's like at a relatively reasonable time at least.
Yeah, I haven't really caught a sneakers drop in a while.
Dude, me neither.
It's been a really long. What was the last pickup that you got? Like that you have or have not posted on your channel?
Shoot, I've been buying a lot at the Nike outlet, and dude, the Nike outlet. I don't know if you have been to like a Nike factory store recently, but I went on Tuesday. They had 2 Ambush Air Force Ones, the green and the blue. They had the Sakai Undercover collaboration in both the maroon, blue, and in the black and gray, or red and gray. They had all of the undefeated Air Force One colorways, and they had like a bunch of golf Air Jordan ones. It was nuts.
Crazy.
Dude, it was insane. I was like, I thought these all sold out. I didn't realize these were, but dude, sneaker app wise, like I don't think I've hit anything.
Yeah, I picked up those like I don't even know the name of them. The blue ones that are dropping, or I got them from Finish Line this morning.
The UNC ones. Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, I swear this colorway's already dropped. I have like 4 different variations similar, but I haven't honestly been paying close enough attention to it. And then I was like, it's kind of a dope colorway, so I'll check it out. But
that was a good pickup, dude. That's a good shoe. I actually got mine from Fine Line 1721 for the video, and I ended up giving it away and whatnot, but I kind of regretted it after I did it. So I'm hoping that is it 2 days? It's 2 days from now. I don't know if actually this is probably the colorway I'd wear with it, because it's kind of cool, like tans, or maybe this one because you got the blue in there. But yeah, dude, that's a. Do you have any sneakers that you're looking forward to upcoming? Like anything in particular that you're really looking to grab?
Man, I'm not really, like, I haven't been paying attention to any Jordans, like any Jordan drops. I passed them the black and orange 12s, like, that's like I mean, it's a women's colorway, but an Oregon State fan, like, I'm like, dude, like, but 210, I was like, do I need that? I was like, no, I'm passing on it. So for me, man, there's not anything really that I'm wanting to jump on and need to get. Like the Action Bronson New Balance is one that I've missed out on a couple of releases. I've been wanting to get those, and I've missed out. But other than that, man, I don't really think that there's anything that the Fear Gods joints.
I like those. Yep.
Those when they drop. I guess now that I'm thinking about it, like, because I don't have anything in front of me to script or anything, but the Red Panda Dunks, I'm in. I'm gonna get him.
Really?
Like,
I know pull those up.
The Red Pandas are fire. Like,
they are.
Maybe it's the turning red fan in me, or I don't know, but I think
dope.
they look good.
They really do. I'm sorry that you can't see. I pulled it up. I pulled them up on sneakers, and so I just popped over to the web view. But dude, they look good, especially with that sort of like super hairy brown suede.
Yeah, it's a nice variation of a bunch of different colors and stuff. That it's not just a simple color block, color block, color block that we're used to seeing all of the, the same stuff. So I like those ones. There's a couple other ones that I'm instant. The Homer Stan Smith.
I love
The Homer
those.
ones with the grass and he's fading back. Those are
love
amongst.
those.
I wonder if that was like a crowd sourced thing or not.
I think it might have been.
Because the Marge ones came out and everybody's like, oh, it should have been this.
They were all
And then-
photoshopping this. Yeah.
Yeah, and a year later they're making it happen. It would be dope if Adidas owned it and was like, because of you guys' feedback, we're creating
I know.
it. That would be fire. But those ones are definitely a must as well. Trying to think of any Jordans or anything. I don't really think anything else stands out as of now.
What about the reimagined Royals? Are you interested in those? Like the suede blue Royals?
Not really, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, if I post a pair of Jordans like in a video, they don't get any traction on my channel anyway. But
really,
it's also something that, yeah, for the most part, like because I don't get them early. By the time I get them, there's 15 reviews or 25 reviews on them, which is fine. But there's just not, I don't know. There's not as much of an interest in that as it used to be,
right.
At least for myself, unless it's like a really good colorway or something that I'm interested in. But it's funny because I feel like it's almost like fatigued a little bit with all the different colorways of Jordan Brand, and it's like 30 years in the making of like 70 different colorways and another colorway and another colorway, and then now they're doing a Air Jordan 2 in a black cement colorway. Like I'm like, and maybe I'm just old salty balls over here because like 10 years ago I would have been like, and maybe the vibe 10 years ago was acceptable. 10 years ago I would have been like, bro, no way, like a black cement, but it's an Air Jordan 2 and it's like black cement theme.
Right.
I would have been like, fire. But now I'm looking at them going, really? Like, do they need to do that one? Or like, why are they just trying to tug at the heartstrings of people that wanted the black cement 3s? And then now they're, I just don't understand the justification of buying that. And with an elevated price point, I feel like the price points have gone too crazy.
They've
too.
gotten
With
nuts, yeah.
So it makes it a little bit more hard to swallow. On the positive, like the Nike ID stuff, like with Nike Dunks out there, I've really had fun with that, and like I made a couple just fun ones that I made and bought. So excited to. Did you see these ones?
Was it the one from the video?
Ooh. Yeah, this is the one Maddie created.
I'm really sorry.
Those are awesome.
What?
Derek ran out of gas and he needs me to take him to the gas station.
Okay, just let the kids be downstairs. Okay, bye. Sorry.
Is everything okay over there?
Helping out the neighbors.
Oh,
kids are gonna be lawless downstairs while mom goes to the gas station real quick. Anyway, these are the one Maddie designed.
Those are awesome.
But she's 4.
That's
like, how did she come walking? Dude. Like the red and the purple and the tie-in with the salmon and the laces, the black in the midsole along with the gray.
Yeah.
And then the white swoosh on the side. I'm like, dude, like you're the color guy, but like
that's nice.
Like, blown away by how good she did. I actually wear these a lot because I think they're so fire. But
dude,
I'm thinking about having
throw like a Concepts on there or a Pigeon on there. That would honestly fly like crazy.
Yeah. It's like it's something. It's fun to have a fresh little brain create something because like I wouldn't have thought of half of the combination that she put on, and I wouldn't have thought it looked good. But anyway. I like the fact that they have that available again. But
definitely. Yeah, I think that's definitely a big plus with because the Nike Dunk is a really good shoe, and like the fact that for a couple years, again, it happened years ago too. They were just impossible to get in any colorway. It's nice that I understand that Nike's probably like, oh well, now to be fair, they're probably selling more than they've ever sold. But the fact that they're just the hype isn't as high as it was, last year is nice because you can finally walk into a store and buy stuff. Like it's great. Like I love being able to walk into a store and see, even like for example the washed black Jordan ones. I didn't buy them, but knowing that I could go into like the local like Atmos or Lapstone or even Foot Locker and see a pair like that was awesome.
Yeah, agreed, man. Yeah, it's different. It's different, and it's funny because a lot of people think that the market's dead completely and will it ever come back sort of thing. If they've only been into it through the hype period, through the COVID period and everything else, and of course that's what they're going to be thinking. But like we've seen this sneaker wave happen in the past. Like, I mean, we've seen it where Jordan retros were sitting and they were going to outlets in the early 2000s or late 2000s. I don't even remember what years it was, but I know we've seen this wave before where they were supposed to remaster stuff. It wasn't the Jordan retros were crap quality, and they were upping the charge of the price, and then they were sitting everywhere and then deep discounted. And then, Dunks were at that point where there are outlets for $40, so not a bad thing if it ever gets back to that. But we went through an era of it being crazy, and then now everything needs to kind of take a step back, and then eventually some of the things that are sitting at outlets now are the things that are going to be grails 5 years from now, 10 years from now. People are going to be like, dude, this is my grail now. Like, it happens like every time, so it'll be interesting to see where it goes. But I'm not concerned about the market at all. Like I said, I'm still enjoying it, and regardless if stuff sits or not, it's the resale side of it being out of the equation honestly just makes it that much more fun to be able to get what you want instead of what you feel like you need to get just as a bargaining chip or something. You know what I mean?
Right.
But what do you think about the ASICS joints, the KIP ones, the X-Men one? Have you seen those? There's like 6 of them.
Let me pull them up really quick.
Gel lights, and there's like 6 different pairs. They're at Comic-Con, I think, this weekend.
There they are.
For now.
The 60 years of X-Men with 7 mutant inspired ASICs. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Those are dope.
It looks kind of interesting. I mean, some of it's kind of like a plain sort of look, but I mean the Wolverine ones look kind of fire, and I don't know, the packaging looks A1 as well. So I don't know if I'll get a pair of them or not, but it's nice to see something cool come from ASICS from the lifestyle. And it's been a while. That wave hasn't really come back yet. New Balance came back pretty strong.
Oh yeah.
ASICS and Saucony really never, like, ASICS has been doing good, I guess, just in other areas, but
Yep. And dude, and honestly, the Gel Light 3 is such a great silhouette. And on it, because I do a lot of like sneaker thrifting, and Gel Light 3s, you'll find them at like a Plato's or even a Goodwill for so cheap, and they still flip on eBay for like $60 to $70, even if they're a little worn. Gel Light 3s are like, there's definitely a community there for them, even like a non-sneakerhead community, because people just know they're comfortable, they're good looking, they're easy to wear. Like, it's a great shoe.
Yeah. It's like iconic. It's like, it's a standard for sure.
It's like a tiger. Like when I was in college back in 2010, everyone was wearing tigers, like tigers and Sambas. And I never got a pair. I always wanted a pair, but I was like, you know what? No, I'll stick with my Jordans for now. I'll stick with my. I was wearing a lot of Adidas top 10s back then too, so I'll stick with my top 10s. But they were cool.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh,
that's rad.
My dog is snoring. Sorry. Have you seen that? How do you feel about the Yeezys coming back too? Ben, wake up, buddy. He's fast asleep. How do you feel about Yeezys returning to Foot Locker? Have you heard about that? All the different
I did hear
Yeezys
about it a little
then?
bit, just like a one-liner on Twitter, which I probably should look more into after seeing something like that. But I guess at some point, what's the point? Because we got everything we needed from it. I don't know. I think that it's not. I don't see, I guess, the right and wrong of it. I just don't understand the chain and how that works out, because Adidas originally was like, well, we have to sell ours and we're going to donate some of the profits and blah blah blah, and then they probably made a lot of money off of that one Yeezy day. I never even posted any of my pairs from that. I have 5 pairs sitting over here that I got from the restocks. I got the Pirate Black 350s, and then the 2 other pairs of 350 V2s, and then 2 pairs of the foam runners, and a pair of the slides that never shipped, by the way. I probably should check on that shipment, because I'm still waiting on a pair.
The blue pair?
No, that was the one I didn't get. Go figure. One of the other ones that dropped. But anyway, they are going to be doing another wave of sales like that. But I'm curious to how they're pulling it off with Foot Locker, if they're just like, because I'm assuming Foot Locker had inventory that they were just told to stop, and then now they got to make their money and clear up their shelf space. So ultimately, I'm not offended by it. I mean, Kanye well knew what we were getting into with him from the beginning, whether or not he says something that's completely ridiculous. And some people for sure find a way to say, I'm not going to support that anymore. And I totally get that. But at the end of the day, for me, I'm like, I like the design, and I can separate the person from the product for the most part. I mean, so because of that, like, I mean, it's created some pretty cool stuff, some revolutionary stuff in the footwear space, if I could say that. And
Yeah,
and I think that
definitely.
for where Adidas is, they need to move product. And I don't know. I don't know if it's the right answer or not, but
Hmm.
I'm not offended by it. And if some people are, then they don't have to buy it. This is
Yeah.
my take. If those people that are interested in buying it, then they can buy it. It's a consumer's market, right?
Yep.
So ultimately, if consumers are loud enough and they don't want it, then don't buy it. And then
Exactly.
what do they do? There's tons of other shoes sitting in Foot Locker that nobody's buying. So like, why would it matter? I guess if you don't like that one that they're selling, it's
Totally.
just your choice to buy it. So that's my thought.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. It's interesting too because before, I feel like this almost reinvigorated the Yeezy hype a little bit because I remember in right before everything went down, like he was saying all this stuff like, "Oh, I don't want to be with Adidas anymore. I want to get out of the contract." But I walked into the Foot Locker at my local mall and there was literally 350s on the wall at Foot Locker, and I was like, "This is crazy." Like it was some crappy colorway. I don't remember what colorway it was, but there was 350s and there was what was the other one that was sitting? There was maybe like shoot, maybe it's 700s. There was like a couple of like
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and
The
I was like, this is
V2s or
nuts.
yeah, the
Yeah,
V3s.
it was crazy. I really couldn't believe it.
The funny thing is if you think about it, like there's never been Yeezys on sale, right?
Hmm.
So like Jordan brand can get Jordans discounted, and then they get on 25% off or whatever, and people don't really think twice about it. But if a Yeezy doesn't sell out, it's like, oh, they're dead.
Right.
But like, but how many Yeezys have we ever, like, I've never promoted a Yeezy that's been on sale
Yeah.
that's been included in a coupon code for Adidas. They've never had that,
Right.
even to this day. If we ever get to that point, I think that would be a good thing.
Yep.
Because then it's truly showing the fact that there's product available, and if it's not it, then it goes on sale and you can get it. That's the fun of thrifting and buying stuff. Like
Right.
for the most part, as a consumer, if you want it but you don't want to pay the full retail because you don't think it's worth that,
Yep.
you wait, and then eventually it gets double discounted, then you buy it for that steal price. It happens to Jordans, it happens to Nike Air Max 1s, it happens to
Yep.
Air Max 90s, it happens to very, very popular models, Air Force 1s,
Hmm.
but it's never happened to Yeezys yet. So it's funny that people will think Yeezys are dead.
Yeah.
And then because they're not selling for $220, which is an outrageous retail price anyway, or $235 or $250,
Right.
they went on sale for $180, or $150. Like more people would want to buy them at that price point.
I agree.
So I feel like it's kind of there's going to be another cycle of it at this point. I feel like they could be pumping out Yeezys 10 years from now, and if they go on sale, then they go on sale. But I would expect that to happen eventually.
Right.
And from a sneakerhead consumer market, maybe it's not the cool thing, but from an average consumer, they're going to sell a lot. The average consumer is a lot bigger
Oh
than
yeah.
the sneakerhead. So Adidas can make
For sure.
a lot of money if they ever get to that point. So
For sure, I completely agree. It's funny. I heard I was talking to I forget what store it was, and I'm sure I probably shouldn't even say if I did remember, but there was a store owner that told me that what Adidas would do back when, like maybe 2 years ago, whenever they dropped like a new Yeezy, like something like the Quantums, like that wouldn't sell out. They would say they would have the Yeezys on the shelf for like a week or two, and then Adidas would be like, after this date, you have to send all your remaining pairs back. And apparently that was like standard for Yeezy. So it was like artificially selling out, and then on Yeezy Day they'd drop the remaining stock. So I wonder if that's yeah.
Yeah, I wonder why they would do that. Sometimes they would have them available on headquarters, like
Oh,
for
really?
employees. So some of the remaining stock, I'm this is just me speculating,
Hmm.
but I know that they would warehouse some of the stuff,
Right.
and then maybe it was stuff that came back that didn't sell, but then they would actually sell it to internal employees, which I think was a really nice move, because then some of the employees could have got stuff for retail. And as an employee of a company, and you can't even get the limited product without cutting back doors or something, it sucks.
Right.
Like, so the fact that they were doing something in good faith for their employees, I think is a good move. I mean, Nike does some sort of stuff like that with a van. So they, sometimes they do limited drops for just employees on their employees stuff. So I don't know. I think that it was a good move, and hopefully they can continue to do some of that. But it's weird that they would falsely inflate it, and I don't know. It's like them not understanding the hype market again or something.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yep. I agree. Let me see if there's any comments in here. If anyone has any questions for Hess in the comment section, make sure to drop those questions and we'll get to them in a couple minutes. Let me see if there's any other sneaker news info that we should hit before we kind of head to the questions and round things off. How do you feel about, this is a shoe that I wouldn't say mixed feelings about, but a shoe that I think I like and a lot of people don't seem to like. The Union Supply Beffy's Beauty Supply, or the Union LA Beffy's Beauty Supply Air Jordan 1s. How are you feeling about them?
I don't even know if I've seen those.
You know the one with the Air Jordan 1s with the Nike, is it the Footscape knit?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't know the name of it. Of course, you see the early pictures like months and months and months ago, and then I just disconnect until I start seeing something that says release date or something.
Right.
I 100% not a fan of them. I mean,
yeah.
they don't really. I mean, I haven't seen them in person, and sometimes it's always wise to withdraw like an opinion until you actually hold it in your hand, and then you can see and go, okay, yeah, this is kind of dope. But this matches my expectations of trash. Like very much, it happens both ways, and as you know, I'm sure. But yeah, it's kind of like I don't like the design of it. I saw somebody cut the high top off and made it into low. Well, somebody said it looked better, but in my mind, it doesn't make it look better because you still have the foot bottom of the shoe. I think that, yeah. And so I don't know, and I haven't paid attention. Usually Union does a really good job of storytelling.
Right.
So I haven't seen the story of why they decided to create it the way they did. Right. If there's like, I mean, so if you're looking at purely off of aesthetics and if it's visually pleasing enough for me to put on my feet, no, like it's not something I like. If they tell me a cool story about it that draws me in, that goes, okay, this makes sense of why they did that, and I can appreciate and understand what they did and why.
Right.
And if I wear this, then I can represent that and let people know, yeah, these do look kind of weird, but did you know this about the shoe? And then they can maybe draw an appreciation for the product as well.
Yeah.
Then I think it's a different selling point. But ultimately, I'm just at first look, I'm like, nah. You give me even in a different colorway, nah. It's just not something. I like something that's a little bit more traditional, and it's borderline hybrid-ish, just because of the way footscapey vibe to it. Have you been on record and saying you like it already?
I think I go back and forth. So when I first saw them, I was like, ooh, I'm not a fan of these. And then I got them in hand, and I was like, these are actually nicer. I don't have them anymore. I got rid of them because I would wear them if I got them for retail. I think I wouldn't pay resale for them. The annoying thing is that the white and gray and yellow colorway is awesome. Like if they just dropped that as like a clean Union 1, it would have been. It's a gorgeous colorway. The Air Footscape thing I think is a mix between. I don't really know the story either. I've sort of pieced things together, but from what I can tell, one it's Beth. So Beffy is a co-founder of Union. She's also Chris Gibbs' wife, so she's been a part of all the other collaborations. But this is like she also has her own beauty supply brand, so it's sort of a triple collab.
Got it.
But apparently the Footscape is like her favorite silhouette. So I think the reason this shoe is, I think the reason for that detail is, one, it's her favorite silhouette, and two, because I've heard that Nike is bringing back the Footscape. So like last year they had the I forget something, some sort of Sakai with the same sort of like, not the exact same detail, but a sort of woven together thing. I think they're sort of trying to lead into the Footscape coming back by adding, Footscape style details. And I don't know if that was her choice to add it or if it's something that they just did, or
I think that the positive of something like that is, at the end of the day, like I've collected sneakers I've had thousands of pairs of sneakers, like no exaggeration, like and never owned a pair of Footscapes, right? So like
me neither.
For me, I've never been a fan of a Footscape. So it doesn't matter how you spin it. It doesn't matter if you make it a Jordan 1, a coveted shoe, and hybrid it in, foam posit, whatever. I don't care what it is. I don't like Footscapes. So, and that's just me. But you know what? At the same time, they sold a lot of Footscapes. Some people bought the Footscapes, and it might have been their favorite shoe that they've ever worn.
Really?
And so for those,
that's true.
They might be like really drawn to that shoe and know that it's something that they truly appreciate and like. And then it's something that they're looking forward to because of they can draw the parallels to that product that I can't. So I don't think that every product is for everybody. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Union is doing a really good job of that. The fact that they're releasing something that they know might not hit the masses. It might not have the luster of something that they've already created. But it's something that can tell a story and also have a personal approach to the product. So I mean, I respect that. If there's some sort of a personal reason why they chose to create something, I can respect that. But it's just still not something that would appeal to me as somebody that would want to buy that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Cool. So with that being said, why don't we dig into some questions and then we can round things off. But is there anything that you saw in there, Hess, that you wanted to answer? I haven't really been keeping an eye on the chat. Sorry, guys, in the chat.
Either.
Let's see. If you guys have any questions for Hess, let us know in the chat. I know for like right when I first said it, like a couple came in and I completely missed them. Let's see.
They're saying the hair braid for the design of the logo.
Oh, that might actually make a lot of sense because I think the logo for Beffy's Beauty Supply is a back of a head with a braid.
Yeah, that's dope. Hey, question. A lot of people have been asking me about the first collab. Is it something you would ever retro or bring back?
We could. If that's something you want to do, we could.
I don't know if people would want to, or if it would be, because I don't know how your supply run works, or like what's the smallest amount, or how many. But like people, every other time I turn around, somebody's asked me for a pair of those still. Maybe just the friends and family pair, just as a run. The Philippine pair looked dope, by the way.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate
you
that.
Gotta see. I didn't see any vlogs and not from what you created over there. I need to go dive in and check. I loved when I went back there. It was so fun, man.
Dude, it's a blast.
Yeah. Carlos, he's such a like super cool guy too. Very like welcoming and it's amazing culture.
Definitely. Dude, and it's crazy the sneaker culture over there. Like I didn't expect it to be that wild. Like the first time I went, it was big, and I'm not that it got any bigger or any smaller the second time, but I was much more aware of it the first time I was just kind of experiencing the Philippines. The second time I was only there for like 4 days, and it was only hanging out with Carlo and some sneaker people. So I really got to see like in depth, like going to all these sneaker stores and see people are into sneakers over there. Yeah, like it's great. Cool. It's crazy. And they have, dude, like the Manila 4s.
Yeah.
Those are sick. Those are sick.
Such a wild release.
It really. I know. Apparently, you had to play basketball either to get them at the Jordan Manila store, and then you had to wear them out or something.
Yeah, wear them out. Yeah, that's crazy. It's pretty wild. No, I didn't make those dunks in the video yet. I didn't buy them yet. I did a random number generator and then selected all the colors for the Nike dunks, and then they didn't turn out very good. I have them in cart. I'm like, I don't know if I need to buy those or not. We'll see.
Going back to your daughter's dunks, I think one of the reasons, not obviously she's incredibly talented, but another reason I think that they came out so good is because, dude, when it comes to us creating dunks, like we're so programmed to like certain color blocking, and you can't, you just like, you're so stuck in that like mindset, and it's like, well, if it doesn't look like a regular dunk, it's not gonna look good. But then like you see something like that, which is beautiful and it's better than most regular dunks. It's like, it's people are afraid to experiment.
I'm trying to pair like this with this panel or these two panels.
Exactly.
These 3 panels together, and then these 2 panels. Like it just, like you said, we're programmed like that. But the fact that you did 3 different panels here, and then different panel on the toe and on behind the swoosh.
Yeah.
And on the back tab, like it was literally, but then it still ties it all together because of the colors that you chose. It's so, I don't know. I'm blown away by what you did. Like, dude, I wish I would have heard her choosing it, because we sat down and it was so fun for her to create it. And like, I think this next time I'm going to get her to and just actually record her so people can see her process. It was like legit. Like I was like, she's so, like, she's only 4, right? But she does her own outfit every day. Like things you get to look forward to, buddy, someday, right?
I'm excited, dude. Oof. I hope so one day.
Harrison's like, Mom, go get me shorts and a shirt. And then Mom will go pick it out, and he doesn't care what he's wearing. But Maddie, she's like, Dad, come upstairs. I need to pick up my clothes. Can you reach up, because it's on hangers? Can you grab me this dress? And then do you think it will go good with these pants? Like she's like very specific about her just getting dressed to go to school or whatever, or even for the day. It's so fun, man. Dude, it's such a fun energy.
That's awesome. And dude, oh my gosh, I really just want to do that now with my nieces, because that seems like such a fun, and that's so cool, because it's like you're wearing it's like literally you're wearing her art. Like it's amazing. Yeah. That's so cool. Yeah. I'm obsessed with that idea. That's an amazing idea.
I'm super proud that it came out good, because if it came out terrible, I'd be like, I don't know. But no, I'm just kidding. We'll see. We'll see how the second round goes. I think I'm gonna do it again since they're available.
You
I think I
should.
might do it.
Dude, you definitely should. I love, dude, and also like going back to her shoe, like the way she paired the mudguard with the midsole, like they're both black, and then she's got it's all tonal like pinks and reds. It's beautiful. Like, she killed that. Yeah. She really killed that.
The only thing is the red on the back. I was like maybe purple, but she said red, so I was like,
it pops. Okay, it does pop. You can read it, which is important. Like, funny. Yeah, the Nike kind of fades into that gray, but the Matty really pops out. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Hess, I still wear your first collab from Raymond Tomato. Is that the first collab sock, or are we talking the Saucony? Dude, your Sauconys are sick. I love your Saucony. If you guys don't know, Hess has an official Saucony sneaker collaboration.
Do you have a pair of them or not?
No, dude. When I started making videos was right after you guys started getting your pairs in, and I tried to buy them, but everyone's pairs sold out, and they were on StockX.
What size are you? Are you an 8.5 or a 9.5 though?
Either one, whatever works.
Because I think I have some 8.5s on ice that
really
only size I have left other than mine. So I can send you a pair.
I would love that. I mean, if that's okay, I would love that.
Yeah, for
dude,
sure.
That would be
I've
sick.
been sitting on it for so long, and I'm like they're just an oddball size, like because it's not mine. It's the only one I had left. Yeah,
dude,
I'll have to.
That would be awesome. I would love that.
Even though the Saucony's not the wave right now, but it's still
a great
fun
shoe
that I was able to create. Yeah, that was a fun moment in time. That was probably the pinnacle of like the sneaker space. I don't know why major brands don't do that. Like, you should have your official collab. Like, I don't know why they wouldn't do that. It seems silly because you could probably, or at least give you the options to create your own color palette for like a Nike by You of something. And because we've seen them do it for some athletes,
right?
Where they're like, "This is a Nike by You by this person. We should get paid or be given the opportunity to have our own color palette available on Nike by You for people to buy, and really give us the ability to choose the colors, not just be given the colors that out of a box to choose from. We get to say, these are the colors that we want. This is what I want for the design and some of the options. That would be so fun. I don't know. I mean,
dude, I love that
maybe
idea.
Nike could do something like that.
Yeah.
But definitely, it would definitely be something they should do.
It would cost them nothing too, because they're already custom making these shoes anyway. I mean, if it's different colors, then maybe it would cost them like a little bit more, but it's like a pre-order. It's not like they're not making too much and then not selling out. Like, I don't think I could sell that many pairs, but like knowing how my We Are Underdog shoes did, I don't think I could sell that many pairs, but it wouldn't cost them that much.
Underdog brand for that one's a tougher sale because the price point. But I think that Nike doesn't do that. Somebody else should. Like my Adidas went away. Like the New Balance. Did you know New Balance used to do that too?
Yep.
They used to do that. I mean, I wish they would bring that back, man. Can you imagine being able to design your own 990 like V3 or something? It'd be so crazy because the materials are so good.
I know.
It'd be so fun to be able to have your own colorway, and they had good colors available too. I mean, they had a color wheel full of colors last time when I created mine way back in the day. Like, that'd be fire if they could do something like that again.
I completely agree. Jimmy says athletes and YouTubers aren't the same level though. True. But if it's like an ID style sneaker, then it's like I said, it's like a pre-order. They're not really costing anything.
The funny thing is, like back in the day, I remember when I did my Kyrie ones, I did a mag colorway of the Kyrie ones, like a Nike mag theme of a Kyrie one from Nike by You. And what they ended up doing later was crazy. They took my theme and they put it on one of the pre-selected options.
That's
like
crazy.
Ordered. It was such a cool moment where they literally took my ID and put it on the front pages of when you're trying to create the item. You know, it was dope. Like it felt like it was direct, especially since I know some of the people in that era. I did, at least then. Right. Know some of the people back in that area. So like I think overall it was a good idea, and a lot of people bought that design just because they liked the overall theme of it. So something that could happen.
Would have been nice if you had gotten an affiliate kickback on that.
All right. I wish I didn't have one set up right back then.
We've got a couple. I know you are. Not to go. I don't know how much longer you can go, but I have seen a couple people getting into the watch discussion a little bit on here. I know you are a bit of a Rolex fan, and you I guess tell us a little bit about. Look at that. Look at that. Is that the I forget the number of that. It's not the 16. Shoot, I don't remember any of the numbers. It's not the newest one. It's the one that came out like in the 2010s, right?
Yeah. No, it is the one that I think you're thinking of. I don't even remember the exact number.
Okay.
It's something 16 and 10s and 1s.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna look at it real quick. It's a Submariner with the date.
That's
But
sick.
you know what? This is one of those things where this was the tip of the iceberg, and it's probably where it ends, because I can't, like, we have so many hobbies. This is one where I'm like, I can't really afford to do this too many times. And for those that don't know the backstory of this and why I got this, this was actually my vasectomy present. So like we knew 2 kids was it, and then after that, I was like, if I'm getting cut, I'm like, give me something for, because girls, like, and you'll know this if your girl ever has a baby, but they get push presents. Like, so it's a push present is you get your wife something when she's having the baby, like a neck or a bracelet or something. So they get something nice. I'm like, dude, this is a vasectomy present. So like, I'm like, if I'm gonna lose my manhood, give me something to replace it. So that's why I ended up with the Submariner. And I did a lot of research at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know which one I wanted to get. I didn't know what type of watch, but I knew the Submariner is, it's an Air Jordan 1 bred. Like it's like loaded kind of watch. It's has a long lineage and stuff versus something that is, just a different model. There's other Rolex models that are not near as has the luster of the Sub. It is still an entry level, affordable ish sort of Rolex. I mean, if you can find them in stock, that's the only thing. You can't get them in stock.
I know.
You have to put in a waiting list for like a year.
I've been in a waiting list for over a year. I bought the Air Jordan 1 Dior's from essentially a trade up series, $20 sneaker collection, and I sold them in order to get a Rolex Sub. And I went to this AD, and he was a fan of the channel, and he's like, "I'll get you one by the end of the year," and that was a year and a half ago. So
if you're looking for one, I can get you one. I have a buddy that got me mine
for retail. that's
really. He has like 10 or 12 Rolexes. So he hasn't. I don't know. He has a super plug at the account. I'll reach out to him if you tell me which one you want.
Sweet. Oh my goodness.
Like legitimately, because he's a buddy of mine that lives in town, and he has a lot of Rolexes. And
that's awesome.
I met him through social actually, and
sick.
I got he has a Thai restaurant in my town.
That's awesome.
And my wife went in to get Thai food, and he came out with her, and he's like, "You're Hess." It was like so, and then we chopped it up from there, and then years later, he's helping me buy a Rolex and stuff. So
that's awesome.
Legit, I have all the paperwork and everything. It's actually the Rolex is in Harrison's name.
Oh,
so I have it in his name. So, it's like the family heirloom sort of thing.
I love that. Was that I remember seeing your video about, I think it was right when you got it. There was a story if you went into a Rolex store, you were wearing just your normal clothes and no one was talking to you. And then you came in with like a sport jacket and your friend, and like, they were like, "Oh, hey."
Well, it was similar to that, but like, okay. I mean, yeah, basically we walked in and with the index dudes, like the guys that own index, and they just didn't even like give us any attention at all. Like we couldn't afford anything. So they didn't give us any, they wouldn't let me try anything on.
Really?
I couldn't even try one of the watches there because I needed to know how it looked on my wrist, right? Like the bezel too big, it was too small. Since they didn't have the one that I wanted there, at least I could try it on when they had, and they wouldn't let me try it on. I was like, dude, because we're like dressed in street clothes, I guess. They didn't want to give us the time of day. But yeah, it ended up happening that the guy that got it for me, I went back in and he I think I was dressed a little bit different, like maybe from work or something, and they no question let me try it on and let me buy it. So that's crazy how the way that works. So, but yeah, it's funny.
Well, I don't want to keep you too much longer. So, is there any were there any other questions you wanted to answer, or is that? Oh, someone said 16.
Ryan, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. And affordable, like, I mean, it's like I think it was like 8,800. Like, so it's not cheap, but
they resell for like 13,000. Excuse me.
Yeah, it's true, but it's not one of the ones like it's not like a 30,000 or 50 or $80,000 Rolex. Entry level's under 10, so I mean it's still expensive. But I can't remember the other brand. There's another brand that I was looking to get instead that was like 5 or 6. No, it's made from the same. I want to say it's
Grand
made from the same.
Seiko?
What's that?
Grand Seiko?
No, I'm losing it. I can't remember. I was really, really deep in looking for this one too, but it's basically like the same build quality as a Rolex. I
Gotcha.
can't remember the name. Somebody might remember or know what I'm talking about. They sell them at the same places you get Rolexes, but it's like literally the same interior builds like as a Rolex. Tudor, yes, thank you.
Nice. Thank you.
Thank you. I was losing my brain, Matt, and I was like, dude, I couldn't remember what it was. But yeah, I almost got a Tudor instead. Super, super nice stuff as well. That would, if I was gonna buy a second watch, I would probably get a Tudor, but nah, for now I'm good.
Fair enough. Well, shout out to everyone for tuning in and chatting with us and chopping it up with us. Shout out to you, Hess. Thank you so much for taking the time to chill with us, and also thank you for being a part of actually being willing to do a second collaboration with us, because this collab, dude, I love it. I love it.
I'm super, super geek, man, as well. Like, I'm so proud of what was created, and I'm hoping that it sells out well. And I'm telling you already, I have an idea for a third collab if this one actually works.
Let's do it.
Like, so I'm excited. I'm banking on this one doing well, so we can work on the next one. Because the next one, I feel like you could have some, you could do some cool stuff with,
Sweet.
with the concept. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm looking forward to the release tomorrow morning. If you guys are watching the stream, follow me over on Twitter. I'll be posting about the release as it's happening, and we gave a handful of pairs away as well, a couple, like 8 pairs or so. So happy that we were able to give some pairs out to you guys. But appreciate everybody that supports this, man. This is the dream. Like, we're Seth's living it, and he's allowing me to have a little chair next to him. So I appreciate it, man.
Dude, I appreciate you. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Guys, if you want to check out Hess's channel, there's a link to his channel in the description below. Like I said, actually, I might not have said this in the stream, but this video is going to be living on the APTHCRY channel. So if you guys want to check that out, there's also a link to that in the description below. Also, all of Hess's socials, when this is reposted, will be in the description below. Guys, make sure to check him out. He's one of the best YouTubers I've ever seen, I've ever met, dude. It's been the fact. What's crazy to me, and I don't want to keep you. Let me just say this one thing. What's crazy to me is that, like, dude, for years I was watching you, and I was just like, this guy's so cool. And then, like, the fact that I'm here now, like, talking to you, and like the fact that I've been able to meet you in person is crazy. I can't get over it, man. And that's I'm dead serious. Like, it's crazy, man.
It's the craziest part. The crazier part is that when I met you, I mean, I knew you were like star level, like, creator just from one interaction with you and seeing, because I didn't follow you before. Met you at SneakerCon New York.
Yeah,
you had
2016, right?
Girl. You had a custom. You were doing customs, I think.
Oh,
you gave me a shirt. I don't even remember the brand. That's Customs.
It was like Fowler Customs. Yeah, it was the brand. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you gave me a shirt. I was like, oh, cool. This guy's nice. And then I followed you back, and I watched your channel, and I was like, dude, okay, like, all I could say is keep doing what you're doing, and your growth is going to be exponential. And you passed 1 million subscribers last year, was it?
November,
like, yeah. I mean, so your format, your formula, it's unmatched by anything on the market, and the growth is there only because you earned it. So just wanted to point that out there. And yeah, so it's been an honor, man. It's been an honor to see the landscape change and see somebody come to the forefront, or multiple people, but you're one of the top creators in this space, and it's really cool that it's coming and down to you being one of those people. Just again, that, man. Completely earned. So love to see it.
Thank you so much, man. That means a lot. Thank you guys so much for being in the chat. Hess, once again, thank you so much. Guys, if you want to grab the APTHCRY Hess Kicks collaboration, it drops officially on APTHCRY.com, APTHCRY, tomorrow morning, which is the 21st of July at 11 a.m. Eastern time. And go quick, because while we do have a good amount of stock, it's Hess. Like, it's going to move. So if you guys want to grab some, make sure to be there right at 11.
I'm going to buy the rest if it doesn't sell out. I'm going to have Christmas gifts for everybody for like years. No, hopefully you guys support it. I appreciate y'all for the support.
Thank you guys so much. If you guys want to check out this live stream, if you missed parts of it, it'll be reposted on the APTHCRY YouTube channel. If you haven't yet subscribed to Hess or the APTHCRY YouTube channel, do that by clicking those links in the description below. With all that being said, thank you again to Hess. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.